Boys, it's the first Clásico of the year, and Real Madrid get their lick back against Barcelona. If you guys do enjoy the video, leave a like, subscribe. I'll catch you next time. Peace. After 8 long months, Real Madrid finally get their lick back against Barcelona in El Clásico. They shut up Lamine Yamal, and Xabi Alonso's first Clásico is a 2-1 win. I feel like everybody was kind of, and myself included, a Madridista. Saw this game coming up and I was like, holy crap, this is going to be a huge game. Like, I know it's just a mid-season, regular season game, a league game, but it's like there's so much riding on this. Like, can Xabi Alonso handle that pressure? How are those players going to come up against Lamine Yamal? Barcelona's injured. I mean, no Lewandowski, no Rafinha. Lamine Yamal still questionable in terms of healthiness, right? He's like at 65-75% healthiness, but he played, so no excuses there. So yeah, it was just like, bro, Barcelona's not fully fit. Real Madrid are kind of like, they got battered by Atletico Madrid, so they have a lot to prove. This game was a lot to prove for them. So them winning was such a huge like relief and huge sigh from the players. Obviously, it kind of got, like I would say, kind of chippy at the end with Carvajal kind of coming up to Lamine Yamal saying, okay, let me hear you talk now. And then obviously Yamal was egging everybody on, like, come on, let's go to the tunnel, let's see what you got, put up your deuce, let's run it. And it was just a shit show at the end. But I'm super happy for Madrid. I thought that they deserved to win that game. Mbappe was offsides a couple times still, even though there is a recipe for beating that offside trap. They're still not there. They're still trying to figure it out. I mean, I could not be more ecstatic with the result. I thought there was a couple goals that they left hanging, both teams there. It could have easily been 4-3, 3-3, 4-4. It could have been a huge scoreline. Nobody really took advantage of their chances. And then the chances that did go in, obviously, were relatively easy, simple, nothing too crazy. But it wasn't all rainbows and sunshines that came out of that victory. We saw Xabi Alonso substitute Vinícius Júnior within, like, it was either the 69th or the 71st minute, something like that, right? And Vini on the pitch, not even on his way out, he was like exclaiming to him, like, bro, why are you taking me out? And it was just like middle of the field yelling at his coach, and it was just unprofessional, unacceptable. And he was like saying, like, why are you always subbing me out? Why is it always me? I thought that Vini actually played a decent game. It wasn't a great game by any means. It wasn't like a vintage Vini game. He did play good. He was one of the top 5 guys, I guess, on the Madrid side. But he got taken out. He was unhappy with it. Like I said, he made a couple childish remarks. He was kind of throwing a tantrum. Everybody saw it. The whole news media were talking about it. Everybody was like, okay, like, what are we doing? Like, why are you acting this way? Like, you're just being a child. And when he was coming out, he didn't even go to the bench. He just went straight to the tunnel. Didn't come out again till like the final whistle was gonna blow, and he came out just to argue. And it just wasn't a good look all around. And then Vinícius Júnior obviously came out with an apology. And while I understand he apologized, Xabi Alonso accepted his apology. Vini was saying, like, you know, that was just like my bad. That was the emotions getting to me. It was a big game, whatever. A lot of Madridistas are seeing more and more of this, right? A lot more apologies coming out of Vini. A lot more apologies than goals nowadays. A lot more complaints than goals. And I think a lot of people, there was a really good number of people, groups, supporting Vini, kind of like backing him and still being like, it's okay. You know, he's messing up off the field, but it's all right. We still back him. We still want him here. And now every single one of these occurrences happen. A lot of those groups are getting smaller and smaller. Those voices are kind of quieting down, and they're dwindling down. And I think a lot of it has to do with once you mess up once and you apologize, cool. You do it again, okay, and then you do it again. It's like, well, are you sorry? Why are you apologizing if you're just gonna do it again? Like, the validity of your apology once you mess up again and then you mess up again, and you continuously are in this cycle of doing the same thing and messing up over and over and over again, the authenticity of your apology dwindles away. It has no value. It's just like you're just speaking words. There's no meaning behind these words though, right? So I think a lot of people are now being like, okay, you know what? If we have an opportunity to get rid of Vini, and we either sell him or he goes somewhere else and we get something for him, or even if it's just like, you know what, dude, we're going to sign him on a cheap, which is not going to happen. A lot of people are now just being like, okay, it's fine. Let him go. It's all right. We see it enough. Like, I get it. You're good. You've been great to us for a very long time. We've been great to you. You have given so much to this club. We have given so much back to you. But it's not enough of what you did to continue to act this way. And it was kind of one of those things where, like I said, a lot of people are just gonna be happy to see him leave. I ultimately don't believe he stays again. I don't think he re-signs. I don't think Madrid want to re-sign him. I think it just happens to be that your time is up. You've been here for so long, and I know it hurts to watch a great player go. But if it doesn't make sense for the team, it's good. It's better for him to leave. And then, off the back of that, media outlets were trying to dogpile on Xabi Alonso, saying that Xabi Alonso not only is losing Vini, he's losing a lot of other players. A lot of players are frustrated with how strict he is, how strict his rules are, how there's no leeway for different types of training, different types of scheduling, nothing like that. It's more so like, hey, this is my way or the highway. And a lot of people really hate that. And I think, like I said, they're trying to dogpile a smear campaign on Xabi Alonso. But I don't think that's really real, because a lot of players that are coming up on Xabi Alonso, such as Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Arda Güler, a lot of these players are exceeding expectations, and they're getting so much playing time, so much rewards and acknowledgement from the fans and the coach. And you can just tell who's being trusted and who isn't. And Vini just falls under the category of somebody that isn't trusted, right? So I think that, like I said, this is kind of just like a rage bait from social media outlets or media outlets, football media outlets that cover the game, and they're just trying to, like I said, paint a picture that isn't really that deep. So yeah, there's also a conversation of Vini leaving to PSG. Obviously, a lot of people believe that Vini wants to go for the money. He wants to go to Saudi, and Saudi's offering him like $1 billion and all this other stuff, all these other rumors. But right now, from this media outlet, they're saying that PSG want to sign Vini because Vini's not happy with his role at Madrid. He doesn't love Xabi Alonso's tactics, the way he coaches, and he feels like it's not his team anymore. And honestly, Vinícius Júnior is watching the team that he once thought was his slipping right out of his hands, and it's falling into Mbappe's hands. Mbappe's just watching the sand fall from Vini's hands and being like, yep, these are my guys now. I am putting up better numbers than you. I'm doing better than you. I'm exceeding in every statistical standpoint than you. The team trusts me. I score goals. I make plays. The coach loves me. The fans love me. They cheer Mbappe. They don't say Vini. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like Vini's lost a leadership role. It's no longer him. Vini just can't be a leader. He just complains too much. He fights too much. He's in an argument every game. I think he has more arguments than goal contributions in the past 2 years. And it's so frustrating to watch as a fan, man. It's just like, okay, bro, let your game talk. Let your game do the talking. If you want to fight with somebody, cool. Do it on the pitch, though. You know what I mean? Like, you think of so many big battles like Messi and Sergio Ramos and Pepe, right? Those dudes got into it all the time, but ultimately it was talked out. It was handled on the pitch. It wasn't handled in between the game, after the game, before the game. It was always on the pitch, and it was always tension was always super high. But after the game, it was like, hey, man, good game, whatever, 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 right? With Vini, it's not. It's constantly like complain. It's like before the game, after the game, pre-game interview, post-match interview. It's like, bro, let it go. Go play the game that you love to play. This is why you get paid the big bucks. But like I said, ultimately for me, the time that Vini has had in Madrid is over. I think this is his contract year. He's not going to extend. And there has now been rumors that Haaland is also on his contract year. Vini on his contract year. Madrid, they're saying that Madrid, if them and Vini don't come into agreement on an extension, that they're just gonna say, see you later, buddy, and go with Haaland. And I think if you have the opportunity to sign Haaland, and Haaland is interested in coming to your team, let Vini go. There's no way. Like this says, it's a replacement. Erling Haaland is not a Vini replacement. He is an upgrade. That's like going from a Samsung or a Motorola Razr to an iPhone 17. Like, this is not a replacement, bro. These are different levels. Haaland is one of the best players in the game right now. For me, it's Mbappe or Kane, and then Haaland. Because Harry Kane has been on an absolute tear. I think that him at Bayern's finally clicking. He's becoming a different type of player. He's defending. He's a midfielder. He's attacking. He's striking. He's scoring penalties. There's just like so many things that dude does well. And Haaland is up there. He's just scoring goals, and that's kind of his thing. And City's not doing great, but Haaland is still scoring. So I think that if Mbappe and Haaland were to link up, it would be so unfair. It would be so unfair. It'd be crazy to watch. And I think it would be just it would be insane if Haaland and Mbappe linked up at Madrid. But it would be cool to see Vini go somewhere else. I would be super happy to see him leave. I think a lot of people are now, just because of all his antics and how we know that they're going to continue to happen and it's never going to end. Other than that, though, that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe. I'll catch you next time. Peace.